Sergio Aguero has been sidelined for several weeks. We are not really clear on when he's going to be coming back for Manchester City, but seeing as he is one of the best, if not the best, striker in the world, out-and-out striker, next to Lewandowski, next to Suarez, whoever. But how will Manchester City figure without this star player? They've got many options in there. Could they bring in Wilfried Bony, who has vowed that he will come back and he will fill in those massive boots that Sergio Aguero has left? Or will they adjust? Will they maybe put De Bruyne up there as a second striker? There's a certain amount of options that they could go with, but I'm going to break it down for you here on Let's Talk Tactics. So it is I would say, devastating blow to lose Sergio Aguero. It's a crucial part in the season. It could have came at a worse time, to be honest. It could have came after the Christmas break when potentially everyone's on the home stretch trying to fight for that Premier League title. But nonetheless, it is never a good time to lose one of the world's most prolific strikers. And there's a reason why Sergio Aguero allows Manchester City to move so freely, because he hasn't been at full fitness, right? But in the last couple of games, what you've seen Aguero start to do more often is make these same runs that he has done in his career to allow for space for everyone else to move. Specifically in the last couple of games, especially when he scored 5 goals, Aguero, with those dynamic runs in behind, he stretches defences and he allows for the likes of Kevin De Bruyne to make these runs in behind and partner up top with Raheem Sterling and with Silva, who will come back in due time. And what he does so well is he pushes the back line outside of their comfort zone, and he takes them so deep. He's small, sturdy, low centre of gravity, all these things I continue to say about Aguero. So then we can look at what Manchester City will have to do without Sergio Aguero. So here is how I imagine him lining up. It's a standard go-to is just to take out Aguero and put in Wilfried Bony. So what I imagine here, although Silva is expected to be injured for another couple of weeks, when he comes back, he's going to be vital in allowing Manchester City to adjust to this big change. So this is how I imagine him lining up. Same formation, 4-2-3-1. Yaya Toure set to be making a comeback into the team. They could go with Company in their next game against Bournemouth, or Mangala could come in and still play inside Otamendi there. Sterling, De Bruyne, Silva and Bony. Okay, so imagine that Silva, for this weekend's game, for instance, against Bournemouth, will be Navas. There's going to be so much, I would say, focus on Kevin De Bruyne. And the reason why is what you get with Wilfried Bony is a striker who is out to prove a point, but someone who simply is a holding striker. I don't think Wilfried Bony should be coming out and saying that he's going to come in for Aguero and take the same position that he has and can contribute the same amount of goals, because I don't think that Wilfried Bony can do that as well as Aguero can. But what he can do is he can be someone like a Loic Remy is for Chelsea. He can be useful despite being that star quality player that they need up top. He can just be someone who holds up the ball and allows for the likes of De Bruyne, Sterling and Navas or Silva, whoever is up there, to support them. So what you're going to see from Wilfried Bony is not so much these runs that Sergio Aguero makes, these dynamic runs to split the defence. What you're going to see is him drifting into space and checking back, hoping for that ball into feet so that he can use his strength and hold it up. Now, this isn't a bad thing, because if Manchester City, now that they have this chemistry between Sterling, De Bruyne and Navas up there, what they can do is they can start to use this to their advantage, right? So Kevin De Bruyne and Raheem Sterling have been doing a great job of interchanging their movement. De Bruyne has been picking the ball up in the middle of midfield. Sterling will cut right through. And I know this just seems like a catastrophe in here with all these arrows, but that's what it seems like when you're trying to defend this team, because they move so well when they're all clicking. So De Bruyne will make that run in behind. But now what can happen is Sterling and Kevin De Bruyne can just make these simple runs off of Wilfried Bony. Bony can take defenders back into their own box, and he can just hold up play for the likes of Kevin De Bruyne to take it at the edge of the box and maybe have a pop, for the likes of Navas, who likes to take the ball wide and is often just to stick out in that wide right area. But I'm talking more so when David Silva comes in, because he interchanges a lot better than Navas. Silva is going to want to just play off of Wilfried Bony, use him as a wall, find the ball in here, ping it into his feet, and just basically use him as a wall to find space. Now, although Aguero is an unbelievable talent and he's been playing well with De Bruyne and with Sterling up there, what Bony will do is he will just allow for more freedom for those two, because Aguero likes to be a little bit more free in his movement. If he's making that dynamic run into the corner, he doesn't want De Bruyne crowding his space. He'll want De Bruyne to kind of take a more conceded role and come back to the edge of the box, whereas De Bruyne probably, if you asked him, he would rather just wander wherever he wants to go in that attacking third and use the pace of play with the likes of Sterling and Silva to his advantage. And what this will do is this will basically just give them a cut and dry, straightforward approach to the game. It might work, it might not, but I don't think goals, as I said, are going to come from Bonnie. They're going to come from De Bruyne. They're going to come from Sterling making those overlapping runs and just using Bonnie as a wall, as a huge figure in there to hold up the ball and put it into the wider areas. Now, don't get me wrong. When you're playing someone like Navas out wide, what Bonnie will want to do is have it into his feet, dish it out wide, and then make this run in behind because he is good in the air. And at the moment, I don't think Manchester City have exploited that. So that can be something that they maybe look to add to their game going into the next few upcoming Premier League games. Now, the one thing I want to say before I close is that they could not ask, I don't think, for a better game to try and use this to their advantage. Now, Bournemouth, newcomers into the Premier League, are definitely not an easy opponent, but this is a good chance for Manchester City to try out Wilfried Bonny. The last thing that could happen if you don't see this formation working as well, it could just be a standard 4-4-2 where they put Navas out wide, they put Sterling out wide left, and they just partner Kevin De Bruyne as a second striker up top with Wilfried Bonny. And that could work just as well because De Bruyne, I think, at the moment, how good a form he is in, he can play anywhere on the field in that attacking third. In between this area, Kevin De Bruyne is lethal when you get him with space. So maybe this is something that Pellegrini's thinking of. Maybe just use Wilfried Bonny as that front striker just to hold up play for Kevin De Bruyne to maybe add more goals to his game because we know he's got that in his arsenal. We want to know what you guys think. Manchester City fans, everyone else, how do you think Manchester City will cope without Sergio Aguero? Do you think it will be as simple as bringing in Wilfried Bonny? Will they have to maybe change things around, maybe change their formation? Let us know in the comment section below. And as always, subscribe to TYT Sport.